Good morning. Tuesday morning, April 26th, 2022, on the East Coast of the United States. It's going on 7:30 a.m. So, I have been saying for a while that I was going to talk about how coffee is actually produced from it being grown to your cup. And actually, it's pretty complicated. It's not something like growing tomatoes or maybe growing some sort of crop that's harvested once or twice a year or something like that. Have you ever seen, there's a show called The Great British Baking Show. I love watching that on TV. It's so interesting and it's really nice and interesting people on it. Well, in one of the things that the bakers have to do, these are amateur bakers, they're given, it's called a technical challenge. They are given the ingredients for something and told what they have to make, and they're given a few instructions, but it's something that they've never made before. They've never seen being made. Maybe they've heard of it, and there may be 12 different bakers, and they end up following these sparse instructions 12 different ways because they've never seen it done. They're unfamiliar with it. Well, I've been reading about coffee production, but let's say, I know how to grow some garden vegetables and some flowers. I know about annual and perennial plants. But I'm reading about this coffee stuff and I don't really understand it. So I'm going real slow. I'm going to tell you in little bits what I'm learning. So the first thing I learned is that a coffee tree can live for 100 years. But it produces the best coffee beans between ages about 7 and 20. And I do know a little bit about growing, for example, pecan trees. And those will keep on producing pecans for their entire life. But the best ones are produced at a certain age, and after a while they kind of get too old to be as good. And well, anyway, I don't know that much about growing pecans, but I do know that it's not just a matter of planting a pecan and a tree springs up and it's good for hundreds of years or something. So, coffee is planted, it grows into a tree or a big bush. And the thing about it is constantly producing coffee beans. So it's not like you can say, oh, okay, it's time for the spring harvest or it's time for the fall harvest or something. They're ripe now. It's not like that. The beans ripen at different rates depending on, when they grew. So what happens is a flower grows, just like any flowering plant. And then the flower, the petals fall off and everything, and you're left with a fruit, a coffee fruit. All right, it's a fruit because it's got a little bit of flesh around it, and it's got a seed inside, which is your coffee bean. Okay, so basically, it has to be picked by hand. It's one of the things that makes coffee expensive. They can't just go through with a machine or something and shake the tree and pick up what falls down or something. It's got to be done by hand, judging, is this ripe? It starts off green, that what's left after the petals fall. The alarm clock was going off. After it ripens, it turns red and then bright red. And that's one of the ways they know, pick this one. So basically, the flesh around the inside that'll become your coffee beans is removed, and what's left inside needs to be fermented, okay? So there's a wet process and a dry process. Well, that's enough for today. You know what I'm gonna do? I've got my water heating. I've got my milk starting to froth. I put in a Ristretto capsule into my original line Pixie machine, and I'm gonna go ahead and run this Ristretto capsule as an espresso. Normally, Ristretto is run with less water than espresso. I don't want to reset my machine. It tastes fine like this to me. Although, interestingly, I have heard from some people that actually some of the coffees that are made to run as lungos taste better to them run as Ristrettos. Isn't that interesting? So it's always fun to keep experimenting. Okay, turn the heater off. And I will let this sit while my milk is frothing. You know, I've been working on, I think I've shown you, turn some lights on, my coffee capsule picture that I made. I just really enjoy it so much. And I've got more capsules here and more up there. See my messy counter, and more there. And then I'm working on a round one. We'll do this while the milk is frothing. Let me turn the lights on in here. So I've got a bunch of the regular ones here, and I'm starting on a round one. It's just fun, you know, I just do it for fun, take my time, and I love all the colors. I love sparkly things, you know, and they have a sort of sparkle to them when you, well, normally they do, but when you crush them down, they really do. Okay, so my milk is ready, and this morning, rather than experimenting around, I'm going to have something that I know I'm gonna like. So there's the milk part that's gone in there. Gonna top it off with the foam. Now I could have chosen to make just a silky froth that would have just all poured out, but I haven't done this for a little while. This is fun. You know, I say that it looks like whipped cream. Actually, it kind of looks more like shaving cream. One more. I hope that you enjoy your day today. I hope that you're open to new things, make good choices, and tomorrow I'll see if I can have some more facts about what happens after they've picked those coffee fruits and taken the stuff that's going to become the beans out, and about the fermentation process. Have a good day.